Hi everyone, and welcome to today's workshop on how to use a measuring tape. I'm Richard, and I'm excited to walk you through everything you need to know to master one of the most essential tools in your toolbox, the tape measure. Whether you're tackling a DIY project, hanging a picture, or cutting lumber for a build, knowing how to use a tape measure accurately can save you time, money, and the most important part, frustration. In this session, we'll cover the parts of a tape measure, how to read and understand the markings, tips for accurate measurements, differences between budget and premium tape measures, and some advanced tricks you'll wish you knew sooner. So let's start by understanding the tool itself. Here's a quick look at the main parts of a standard measuring tape. You have, for instance, the blade. This is the actual measuring tape that extends and you can take the measurements off. You have your hook or your tang. That's the metal tip that grabs the edges of what you're measuring. Then you have the lock. This holds the tape in place when you're taking certain measurements as well. You also have the case. That's the outer shell that houses the blade inside. Here's a pro tip. Notice how the hook that I was just holding up, it wiggles a little bit, right? Like this. That's intentional. The movement compensates for the hook's thickness when you're measuring outside or inside edges. So your measurements stay super accurate. Not all tape measures are built the same. Here's a quick breakdown. Inexpensive or budget tape measures. Now, these are great for light tasks like picture hanging, okay? Usually have thinner blades and they're more prone to either bending or collapsing. They have fewer or less detailed measurement markings on them as well. When you step it up and go into a premium tape measure, sort of like this one, they have a more thicker, more rigid blade. Okay, this is useful when measuring long distances, especially when you're tackling something solo. They have magnetic hooks, which is great for picking up metal objects that fall on the ground, okay? They might also have nylon or coated blades for longer wear and visibility. You also have better standout distance, which means how long can you extend the blade before it actually collapses. Usually it's greater the more expensive or higher end your tape measure is. See how thick this one is? This one you can extend about 20 feet before it starts to bend, just to give you an example. Let's go ahead and talk about how to read the measurements. Most standard tape measures are marked in either inches and feet. Here's how to make sense of all of those lines. The big numbers, they represent whole inches. The medium lines, usually half an inch. The shorter lines, now you're talking about a quarter of an inch, an eighth of an inch, and the smallest line is a 16th of an inch. Let's break that down a bit. The more lines between the inch marks, the more precise your tape is. For example, if there are 16 lines between the inch marks, each one equals a 16th of an inch. So halfway between 1 inches and 2 inches mark is 1.5 inches. And halfway between 1 inch and 1.5 inch is 1.25 inches, and so on. When you're just starting out, look for markings like half an inch, a quarter of an inch, or 3/4 of an inch to build confidence. With practice, you're going to be able to read 1/16 of an inch, and it's going to become second nature to you, all right? You may also notice red or boxed numbers at 12, 16, or 24 intervals. These help with framing and stud spacing, since most studs are spaced apart 16 or 24 inches on center, which basically means center to center of your stud. You may also see a diamond symbol that represents 19 inches, which is the distance from center to center for those ceiling joists you have on your roof, right, or on your ceiling. And then you have foot markers. They're often clearly labeled for quick reference when measuring in feet. Now, let's go ahead and measure something together. You're going to go ahead and start off by hooking your hook or the tang on the edge of what you're going to be measuring. For instance, like this. You're going to go ahead, extend the blade, and lock it in place. Once you have it locked in place, go ahead and read the number that's on the edge of your material. It's that easy. Now, for long distances, one person can anchor the hook while the other reads. Some tape measures have markings on the case. Most of the time, it's on the back of the case like this one, okay? It's either going to read 3 inches or 3.5 inches. So you can use the case itself as a measuring tool, especially when you're going into corners. Here are some pitfalls I want you to avoid. Don't let the blade bend or sag. It can throw off your reading when you're doing these really important measurements. Check that tang or the hook, right? Remember, tang or the hook. If it's bent, your measurements could be off. So make sure it does wiggle, that's important, but you don't see it bent. And always measure twice before you cut once. Use the bottom edge of the blade as a straight edge when making marks. So you're measuring your item, lock it into place, and use that blade as your straight edge where you can go ahead and draw a line if you need to, okay? Quick little pencil mark makes all of the difference. Now let's go ahead and keep on going with some more tricks because why not? Seasoned DIYers use a couple of tricks, like for instance, using the serrated edge of the tang to lightly scratch or mark soft wood. Let me go ahead and show you that. For instance, let's say you're measuring. You're right on that edge where you need to be of your measurement. You don't have anything to mark with. You can actually use your edge of that tang and sort of indent on soft wood. And that way, you'll know where to start your measurement or where your measurement ends. Just a little trick, okay? Also, search for a tape measure with markings that allow for measurements to be read accurately when pulled either your left or your right, or when the tape is flipped upside down. You never know in what situation you can get yourself into. This is in contrast with your standard tape measure where the numbers might be upside down when pulling from left or flipping the tape, okay? These type of tape measures are great for awkward measuring situations. Now, to measure between two walls or a window, here's a quick tip. You're going to go ahead, let's say this is your window, and you're going to measure the inside corners of this window. It's a little bit difficult to do it, but what you can do here is very simply, you're going to go ahead, place your tape measure, extend your blade, lock it into place. You're going to see what the tape measure is measuring at currently, and then you just go ahead and add what your case is. In this case is 3 inches. So you take whatever your blade is showing plus 3 inches, and that's going to give you an exact measurement of the inside portion of, for instance, this window, if we were to say it was a window. Now, also, you have magnetic tangs. These magnetic tangs can help pick up small metal pieces like screws in tight areas. Are you working alone? Anchor the tape on a nail, a screw, or a clamp like this. You have a screw on the piece that you want to measure. Use that tang or your blade, lock it in place, and you can go ahead and pull the tape measure. That way it stays in place, especially when you're working solo. Mentioning all those things, now let's talk about tools and materials. You don't need much to master this workshop. Just a good quality tape measure, a notepad, or a piece of scrap wood to practice your marking measurements. Now, Let's answer a few common questions. What does it mean if the hook moves? We explained that earlier. That's by design. The slight movement adjusts for the thickness of the hook, ensuring accurate inside and outside measurements. What's an easy way to remember my measurement if I need both hands? Well, you can mark the spot with painter's tape, a pencil, or clamp something at the spot. You can also just write the number directly on the board. That easy, okay? Temporarily while you're doing your measurements. With all that said, here's a quick recap of today's workshop. We identified the key parts of a tape measure, compared different types and blade features, learned how to read the markings, practice measuring techniques, and avoided common measuring mistakes. We also learned about advanced measuring tricks like measuring inside of a window. I want to say thanks for joining me today on how to use a measuring tape. To keep learning and exploring more DIY workshops, visit homedepot.com/workshops or email us with your question at any time. Workshops live at homedepot.com. And as always, thank you for shopping at your Home Depot. See you on the next one.